Good afternoon, friends. We are learning our subject Machine Learning 3170724. In that, we want to learn chapter 6, that is Bayesian Concept Learning. We have a bit idea about Bayesian theorem, which we have studied in previous chapter, right? Let us see what we want to do with Bayesian concept. Okay. So now this chapter is from CO3, that is our course outcome 3. Evaluate the various supervised learning algorithms using appropriate data set. So Bayes' theorem was introduced by 18th century mathematician Thomas Bayes. He developed the foundational mathematical principles known as Bayesian methods, which describe the probability of events and, more importantly, how probabilities should be revised when there is additional information available. Why Bayesian methods are important? Bayesian learning algorithms like the Navy Bayes classifier are highly practical approaches to certain types of learning problems as they can calculate explicit probabilities or hypotheses. In many cases, they are equally competitive or even outperform the other learning algorithms, including decision tree and neural network algorithms. Bayesian classifiers use a simple idea that the training data are utilized to calculate an observed probability of each class based on feature values. When the same classifier is used later for unclassified data, it uses the observed probabilities to predict the most likely class for the new features. The application of the observations from the training data can also be thought of as applying our prior knowledge or prior belief to the probability of an outcome so that it has higher probability of meeting the actual or real life outcome. The simple concept is used in Bayes' rule and applied for training a machine in machine learning terms. Some of the real life uses of Bayesian classifiers are text-based classification such as spam or junk mail filtering, author identification or topic categorization, medical diagnosis such as given the sequence of a set of observed symptoms during a disease, identifying the probability of new patients having the disease. Network security, such as detecting illegal intrusion or anomaly in computer networks. Strength of Bayesian classifiers is that they utilize all available parameters. Others ignore the features that have big effects. Others means what? Other algorithms. Other algorithms ignore the features that have big effects. So that we consider as the strength of Bayesian classifiers. Bayesian classifiers Assume that even if few individual parameters have small effect on the outcome, the collective effect of those parameters could be quite large. For such learning tasks, the Navy-based classifier is most effective. Features of the Bayesian learning methods. Prior knowledge of the candidate hypothesis is combined with the observed data for arriving at the final probability of a hypothesis. Prior knowledge, right, of his hypothesis. For example, we can say that a person is having cancer or not, right? So you can say one hypothesis says that person is having cancer, and second hypothesis says person is not having cancer, right? What do we want to say is prior knowledge of the candidate hypothesis is combined with the observed data arriving at the final probability of hypothesis, right? So two important components are the prior probability of each candidate hypothesis, the probability distribution over the observed data set for each possible hypothesis, right? Two things or two components are very important, right? The Bayesian approach to learning is more flexible than other approaches because each observed training pattern can influence the outcome of the hypothesis by increasing or decreasing the estimated probability about the hypothesis. Whereas most of the other algorithms tend to eliminate a hypothesis if that is inconsistent with the single training pattern. Bayesian methods can perform better than the other methods while validating the hypothesis that make probabilistic predictions. For example, when starting a new software project, on the basis of the demographics of the project, we can predict the probability of encountering challenges during execution of the project. Though the easy approach of Bayesian methods, it is possible to classify new instances by combining the predictions of multiple hypotheses weighted by their respective probabilities. In some cases, when Bayesian methods cannot compute the outcome deterministically, they can be used to create a standard for the optimal decision against which the performance of the other methods can be measured. Bayesian methods depends on the probability of the hypothesis set. If these probabilities are not known in advance, we can use the background knowledge. What is said about the Bayes theorem? Let us first know the concept learning. And let us take one simple example so we can understand that how a child starts to learn meaning of new words. As for example, ball. We want to explain ball to a child. How can we explain? We can have a ball and we can show to a kid, to a child, and we'll show that this is the ball, right? Let us consider, say, rubber ball, red color rubber ball we have shown. I'm trying to say this is a ball. Okay. Then we can say we are having a bigger ball, very lightweight ball, and we'll try to show that this is a ball, right? So, will kid be able to understand and recognize all balls as ball? You may not understand my question. Let me show you the figure, right? Let me show it from here. Let me show this. Just a second. Let me say, first of all, you have shown this ball. You can see the photo. I have opened the photos, right? First of all, you have shown this ball to a kid and said, this is a ball, right? This is a photo, but actually when you are showing, kid will be able to see the size also, its design also, isn't it? So he understood, say round shape, red color, and here exact design is not there for rubber ball, but let us say it's fine. Okay, let me open that here. What balls are available to us, we can understand, right? Yeah, it's something like this, isn't it? Typically, we used to see rubber ball as this one, right? So, kid will be able to understand red color, round shape. This is the design. Okay, this is the rubber ball, right? Okay. Now, do we say rubber ball to the kid? May not be. We'll say this is a ball, right? After that, we'll show, say, bigger ball like this one. But typically, this is the bigger ball, as well as we can say that it is lightweight, isn't it? This is lightweight ball, isn't it? Now, if I will show this ball, whether kid will be able to say that it is a ball, may not be. Because first of all, he has seen the rubber ball, small one, that was this one, and some design was there. When we have seen the second ball, that was lightweight ball, this one, right? And you can say like plastic like ball is there and lightweight, right? So kid is probably not able to recognize this as a ball. He may say something else. Now, we will say, no, this is a ball, right? Now, it may happen that I will show the watermelon. Now, whole watermelon is there. Will the kid be able to say it as ball or watermelon? It depends on whether the kid is having the concept of watermelon in his mind or not, isn't it? Kid may not be having that idea, right? So, this is what we want to know, and the concept learning we want to say. Typically, what we used to say, This is a ball, isn't it? This is a ball. If I am showing watermelon, I'll say that this is watermelon. Will I say it is not ball? Typically, we are not training this way, right? We will show this is a ball, this is watermelon fruit, this is, you can say, rubber ball, this is, you can say, orange. You are not saying that it is not a ball. Positively, we are teaching. We are not saying that it is orange, it is not ball. Otherwise, we will have to say too many negative examples. That is, this is orange, it is not ball. It is round also, so we can say kid may think that it is watermelon. It depends, no? It depends on the way he is accepting the features of that particular object, isn't it? So, so every time should we say that this is this particular object and not this? But this is not a typical way to teach something, isn't it? Or the way child learns is not that way, isn't it? So let us see that. The child is provided with positive examples of objects which are ball, right? You can understand that. I mean to say that I'll show the orange and will say that it is orange. I will not say it is not ball, right? Okay. Not is not going to be included. We'll only say that this is ball, right? Whether it is rubber ball or you can say plastic ball or you can say that lightweight ball or we can say football or volleyball or you can say any other ball, right? The smaller one, I mean, table tennis ball or you can say lawn tennis ball, fine. Okay. So, but positively only we are saying it is ball. If orange is there, we are not going to say it is not ball, right? You can understand that. Watermelon is there, we'll say that it is watermelon fruit. We are not going to say it as it is not ball. Fine. So positive examples only. Child is given, child is provided with, right? At first, the child may be confused with many different colors, shapes, and sizes of the balls and may also get confused with some objects which look similar to ball, like we can say balloon or a globe. The child's parent continuously feeds her positive examples like that is a ball, this is a green ball, bring me that small ball, etc. Seldom are there are negative examples. Rarely we are using the negative examples used for such concept learning. I want to teach concept of a ball to a kid. Then we are using the positive examples and not the negative examples, isn't it? Like this is not a ball. The negative example we are talking of, this is not a ball or this is non-ball that we are not typically teaching. We'll show orange and we'll say this is orange only. We are not going to say it is not ball. It may be similar to many other objects. So every time when we are introducing a particular object, positively only we are saying. We are not going to say that it is not ball, it is not rectangle, it is not apple. Are we teaching that way? No, we are not teaching that way. We are saying positively, right? But the parent may clear the confusion of the child when it points to a balloon and says it is ball, right? It is ball. Kid is making the mistake and saying that it is ball instead of balloon, right? At that time, parents rectify that this is not a ball, right? At that time, we used to say, but not every time. Fine. This is the concept learning. Okay. But it is observed that the learning is most influenced through positive examples rather than through negative examples. Yes, but when mistake is there, at that time we are rectifying a kid. Okay. And the expectation is that the child will be able the child will be able to identify the object ball from a wide variety of objects and different types of balls kept together once the concept of a ball is clear to her, right? We can extend this example to explain how we can expect machines to learn through the feeding of positive examples, which forms the basis for concept learning, right? Let us relate learning concept to model of base. The example which we have considered, that was meaning of a word. Here we have considered the concept of a ball, right? So, as equivalent to learning a concept using binary classification. Binary. So, one is means if we are having two classes, then class 1 says the function that will give us the probability it is 1 and other will give us the probability that is 0. Isn't it? Binary. So 1 and 0 only we consider. So let us define a concept set C, and a corresponding function f of k. We also define f of k is equal to 1 when k is within the set and f of k is equal to 0 for otherwise, right? When k is in the set, then you can say f of k is equal to 1, or otherwise we are having f of k is equal to 0, right? For outside objects, isn't it? Our aim is to learn the indicator function f that defines which elements are within the set. So by using the function f, we will be able to classify the element either inside or outside our concept set, right? Let us say that we are having the set S wherein we have put all the balls like say rubber ball, then you can say plastic ball, then we can say football, volleyball, right? So that is inside the concept, right? That is the set. If a ball is from this particular set, then we'll say f of k is equal to 1. And otherwise, that is say if we are showing watermelon or balloon or anything like that, we can say f of k will be equal to 0, right? So what we are doing is that this will be the indicator, means our aim is to learn the indicator function that will say that whether the element is inside or outside our concept set. In Bayes' theorem, we will learn how to use standard probability calculus to determine the uncertainty about the function f. And we can validate the classification by fitting positive examples. Now, we already know what is the Bayes' theorem. Bayes' theorem says P of, that is the probability of A, event A, based on the probability of B, that is equal to probability of B based on event A into P of A, that is the probability of A, divided by probability of B. This is the Bayes theorem. It is already known to us. We have seen in the previous chapter also, isn't it? Where A and B are conditionally related events and P of A by B denotes the probability of event A occurring when event B has already occurred. So that is known to us. One event has occurred and now the second event will occur based on that. Let us say that person is having X marks, so he will be having this percentage, right? So based on that, only we can say that percentage is this one, or you can say that person is having say 60 percentage marks. That means, or you can say person is having first class. Let us forget about the percentage. Person is having first class. That means person is pass in all subjects, isn't it? So what do we say is, let us assume that we have a training data set B where we have noted some observed data. Our task is to determine the best hypothesis in space H by using the knowledge of D. D is what? It is the training data set. Fine. And hypothesis in space H. We want to find the best hypothesis. I have given you the example, that is, you can say we are having two hypotheses. One says that person is having cancer and other hypothesis says that person is having no cancer, right? Okay, so that is the, this two is the hypothesis space, and among that, which one is the best hypothesis? That's what we want to find, isn't it? From the knowledge, whatever is there with us, that is our D. Okay. We should have knowledge of, one is prior probability, second is posterior probability, and third is likelihood. Let us know about all these three things. The prior knowledge or belief about the probabilities of various hypotheses in H is called prior in context of Bayes theorem. Prior knowledge or belief of the probabilities, right? That is called what? That is called the prior, or you can say prior probability in the context of Bayes